We are talking with a local contestant on Fox's The 1% Club about her experience on the game show.
And also, Rennie's Honey Butter joins us in the kitchen for a special What's Cooking with their loaded baked potatoes. Welcome into Studio 10. I'm Jennifer Lambers.
And I'm Chelsea Sayasan. Happy Tuesday. It's June 10th. Joe has the morning off. So yesterday we've been talking about this on the news side of things and on the Studio 10 side of things. Apple had a really big conference yesterday and they debuted some really cool info.
That is exactly right. And so this is going to be big news for all of the Apple users out there.
Yeah, so lots of changes for its iPhone, iPad, and other devices during the company's annual Worldwide Developers Conference in California yesterday.
Apple says that its software design is getting a makeover. The company has dubbed the new interface Liquid Glass.
Yeah, so it will feature see-through visuals that appear to have a glossy surface.
The new software will appear in familiar Apple products like the iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watches.
And Apple says that Liquid Glass will be able to adapt to light and dark environments. If I'm being completely honest with you, I can't even comprehend this. Can you? I can't. Is it a device or is it?
No, so like your icons on like your phone.
So you can see through it.
Yeah, you can see through it. Pretty much it's just a little translucent. The
Liquid Glass?
Yeah, so they're kind of like a frosty white. If you see photos of it, it would make more sense.
Right.
I was trying to catch up a little bit on social media this morning. One of the big ones is if you were not a fan of the Photos app update that came out the last time,
right,
they've kind of backtracked a little bit to go back to the classic look. Not fully, but a little bit of those features because it got a lot of complaints. So I think that they're backtracking a little bit so people were more happy about that.
Interesting. Every time they do a conference like this, it's just wild because the technology just gets
wilder. Yeah.
I mean, it's literally so wild that they can even just make an icon on an app essentially see through, but still there. Like my brain can't comprehend, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
Right. I think. Do you use widgets at all?
No.
See, I'm still so far behind on those. Yeah, I use some of them. Like,
what's a widget? Please.
I'm gonna have to show her on my phone.
Okay. I need to go to class.
So it's pretty much how like that's bigger. So mine is, I have maps at the top and it's a big icon, and then I have a radar at the bottom that's kind of takes up the spaces of 4 of them.
It's wild.
So it's just, you can make specific apps bigger on your phone.
Yeah. My first phone was a Razr. Oh, how far we have come in this generation. I tell you that.
I had a little Samsung little flip phone thing.
Part of me wants to go back a little bit.
A little bit. See, I thought it was cute how my mom did it. Is when I got the phone for Christmas, we still had a home phone, so off to the side they called the phone number on the home phone as I'm unwrapping it.
Cute.
So it starts ringing. Me and my dad got one the same Christmas.
That's so cute. Well, updates are happening if you have an Apple device, and we'll keep you updated on it.
Well, also talking more about movie news, AMC customers will have extra time to go to the lobby for popcorn, candy, and drinks.
That's what they say. Starting next month, the theater chain says it will show more advertisements prior to the start of a film.
AMC just made a deal with National CineMedia, which will allow the ad company to show a commercial just before the feature presentation.
Analysts say that so-called platinum spot is prime real estate for advertisements, and National CineMedia has already said that it has an agreement with AMC rivals Cinemark and Regal.
Officials at AMC say the addition of ads is an attempt to bring in more money without having to boost ticket costs.
Yeah, movie experts say theater goers can expect an average of 20 to 30 minutes worth of promos during the pre-show, which I feel, you know, if we went to a movie last Sunday to see Lilo and Stitch, the movie was at 11:20, and I'm always like, all right, if we're there by 11:40, like we're good.
Yeah.
So I guess it seems like it's just one more commercial, which I can't imagine what these businesses are paying for that spot, especially if it's right before the film starts and everyone is sitting down and preparing to watch the film itself. But I do love previews. I love previews of movies.
Right, that's what I like. I like the previews of the movies going into it. I feel like this is a slippery slope because how they advertise it is, it's great for the consumer. It's great that we're not raising ticket
prices.
This is just part of it. But how long until they're going to have an intermission to where they just break in the middle of a movie?
I hope that
you get to go get drinks and popcorns and go use the bathroom. Like that's the perk of it. But
As a mom, if it were a kid movie, I'd be like, great, we have a potty time break. But as an adult who wants to watch Superman in a couple of days, like I don't
Imagine
want
a 3-hour movie with that.
Yeah. Anyways, another commercial to add to the list. I would love to see some of these items in person. I have seen some of these in person, but dozens of items from the late Princess Diana's wardrobe are headed to an auction this month.
So this includes her ski suit, a Dior handbag given to her by France's First Lady, and the floral dress that she wore to visit children in the hospital.
In total, it features more than 100 pieces belonging to that former Princess of Wales. Julian's Auctions has described the sale as the largest collection of the royals' fashion ever to go under the hammer.
Online bids are being accepted ahead of a live sale at the Peninsula in Beverly Hills, California later this month.
So when I went to the UK a couple years ago, they had this big exhibit on Princess Diana's clothes, and I got to see the wedding dress in person. And this was before I really knew much history. There's just something about clothing that I absolutely love, and style and fashion, and she had it.
She did.
Everything that she wore, there was a purpose and like a mission behind it when it comes to like her jewelry. And when you are a royal, people are looking at every little detail of you. Like, is she wearing a ring from Queen Elizabeth? You know, all these kind of things. But it's amazing. Her fashion specifically is a work of art. It truly is.
So we went to London for our honeymoon for a few days there, and we got to go to the Tower of London and go to the Crown Jewels in there. And so just seeing everything on display, some of it was fake, some of it was real, or not so much fake, but just
a replica.
Replica. Perfect. That's what I was trying to find. But cool. Everything that goes into it, as you said, everything has a purpose, a meaning, a symbol. So the depth goes beyond what we could imagine.
I will love to know how much these
I hope that we
pieces are
report
gonna
back
go.
on how much
Once
some
we
of them
find
go
out,
for.
we'll let you know, because I'm sure it's a pretty penny.
Well, college athletes no longer have to rely on outside companies to get paid for their image and likeness.
All right. Well, on Friday, a federal judge approved a settlement in the case known as House versus NCAA.
Well, what it does is allow schools to pay their athletes directly. Before, the students had to use outside parties to earn compensation.
Right. So that settlement establishes a 10-year revenue sharing model schools can use to pay their athletes. It goes into effect next month. This is super controversial, right, in the sports world today. I'd love to know Joe's thoughts on this, just because I feel like I don't have a thought. I'm just taking in all kind of information right now and still trying to comprehend and understand all of it. But at the heart of it, there is major money for 18 to 24-year-olds to make right now. I should say 17 to 24-year-olds to make right now. Brian Williams being one of them.
I have a few mixed opinions on it. It's great that more of that money goes to them, but in the news industry, one of the things that people don't realize is that we ourselves can have agents. So if you wanted to go to a different station in a bigger market, you can have an agent. And that's how I kind of relate it a little bit, is that they do take a percentage. But if you want to go further, if you want to have better things, then they can help you do that. And so I think giving a 17-year-old, here's your decision to make, and not having the guidance of someone to help them, I think is a little difficult, because I mean, that's a big decision. Thinking back when I was 17,
I know,
not knowing what I would do.
Like hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. It's kind of interesting with the schools now. I wonder if there will be, I'm sure there will be, some negotiations in the process if you're not like getting this money from just businesses and your school is offering you X amount of dollars, like here X amount of dollars, but you need to stay here for
not knowing what you're
it?
signing. If you leave, you got to pay it
back.
back.
It's truly it feels like a contract.
Pretty much is.
So I have to learn a lot more about this, but we'll have to ask Joe tomorrow to see how he feels about this story, because
consultations. Consultations.
Lots of money on the line here.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at your forecast right now. And as we do take a look at conditions across the southeast, Chelsea and I were talking earlier in the last hour. Those storms last night, they were loud. That thunder, that lightning, it was intense. The house was shaking. And we do still have the potential for more of those storms heading into today. Coverage not as high, so that will be the good news, but it's still going to be pretty isolated out there. We were tracking some of those showers earlier, now beginning to see more of those just beginning to push further off towards the east. Still tracking along I-65. So if you're going to be traveling along I-65 in Baldwin County, heading closer towards Escambia County, Alabama anytime soon, just make sure that you're driving carefully out there. That also includes Conecuh County as well. But more of those showers and storms that were just offshore of Baldwin County beginning to fizzle out just a little bit. Some improvements, but the temperature is out there. It's warm. It's muggy. So we're resting in the upper 70s and the lower to mid 80s. But taking that humidity into account, feels like temperatures now we're starting to see more of those 90s. Milton, Molino, Pensacola, Mobile, Lucedale, all joining in on the 90 club right now. Just how hot and toasty it is out there. Luckily, we will start to see some relief in the form of rain chances once we make it further along into the afternoon. Pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible for the second half of today, but it's going to be random where we start to see some of these develop. Heavy downpours, frequent lightning, gusty winds, some loud thunder, all once again possible. But I'll talk more about that and what I'm tracking over the next few days as we get closer towards the weekend. That's coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Jen, thank you. Well, coming up, we're taking and talking with a local contestant of the 1% Club straight ahead. We're going to hear about her experience on the show that airs right here.
Yes, and also Pensacola Bubba's 33 fundraiser benefits the American Eagle Foundation. We're talking with the organizers coming up after the break. Well, the 1% Club is a game show with a unique, compelling, and funny outlook, testing the nation's intelligence based on scientific surveys. It premieres right here on Fox 10 tonight, and joining me today with her experience is Shauna Stefankowitz of Gulf Shores. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And so for anyone unfamiliar, the 1% Club, it's just now entering into its second season. And so what exactly is this game show?
It's a test of brain teasers and logic, not necessarily trivia questions, things you may or may not have learned in school.
And so we actually have a preview for you first. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi.
Were you excited when you got it right?
So excited, I almost made my party trick noise.
What's your party trick?
I can mimic a weed eater.
A what?
Weed whacker, like a weed eater.
All right, let's see it. That's pretty darn good. You just do that?
Yeah, I taught myself when I was a kid.
Of all the things to teach yourself.
I love it, Shauna. And so how did you feel doing that for national television?
I was a little embarrassed, but it was fun. So I figured go big or go home.
I love it, representing the Gulf Coast. And also I understand you weren't alone. You had someone there, very special to you.
My son, Rylan, was also a contestant on the same episode.
That is fantastic. And so tell me a little bit about the process. How did you go about auditioning for the show, preparing for it?
I saw an application for a quiz game show, and I've always wanted to be on a game show, so I applied and went through the process, and they chose us, so we were very excited to go do it.
And so how did you prepare for it? Is this general knowledge, specific things that you specifically studied?
So we actually got the app for the 1% Club, and it had all of last season's questions on there that you could practice, so that's kind of how we prepared for it.
That's awesome. And so again, we can't quite talk about how you guys did, but also I want to talk about you personally. You said that you're from Gulf Shores. And so how long have you been along the Gulf Coast?
We lived here 2.5 years.
And so welcome. Before this, she's from Missouri, not too far away from me myself. And so what was this experience like for you? About how long ago was filming for it?
Filming was about 2 months ago, and it was an experience of a lifetime. It was really neat to see how everything is produced and comes together in the end. So we're excited to see the show tonight as well.
And so do you have any main takeaways, lessons learned, tips for anyone that may be considering it?
It's more nerve-wracking than what you expect, and I now understand why people might blurt out answers on game shows that people are wondering why they say those things.
Exactly. It's the heat of the moment.
That's right.
You just got to answer really quickly. And so, Shauna, I wish you the best of luck. I know it's already happened. We can't quite talk about the end results, but you can check those out. Again, that's going to be tonight, airing on Fox 10 at 7 p.m. You can see how Shauna did, plus also your son, Rylan. We're excited to see those end results, but thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Again, check that out at 7 p.m. on Fox 10 this evening. Chelsea. Well, there is still plenty more to come on Studio 10, but first, let's check in with our Ashlyn Mitchell with a preview of what's coming up on Fox 10 Midday. Good morning, Ashlyn.
Good morning to you, Jen. As you know, it's always a busy day on Fox 10 Midday, and here are just two of the stories that we're following this morning. Happening now, the Mobile Airport Authority is meeting today. We're expecting an update on the construction of the new terminal in downtown Mobile, so our Stephen Moody is breaking that down. And then nationally, the LA riots are intensifying this morning after immigration raids took place last week. We'll have the very latest on that coming up at 11. Jen also has a look at your Tuesday temperatures as well, so we invite you to join us on Fox 10 Midday after Studio 10. Chelsea?
Also, I got to include, too, is that I go to watch my Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
There you go. Let's go Chiefs. So, for any Gulf Coast residents that are Chiefs fans, watch parties right there at Bubba's 33. Well, coming up, I'm going to talk more about your forecast and what I'm tracking for the days ahead of us. And then also, we're wrapping things up with Reenie's Honey Butter. We are talking more about those loaded baked potatoes. That's coming up when we come back.
What a day it was. It was fun-filled and it was food-filled.
It is food-filled because we still have the Moon Pie Wellingtons, we have Reenie's baked potatoes,
Yep.
and then also Bubba's 33.
And the fried rice from the 8 a.m. show. So
And the
there's
Oreos, too.
So much stuff, you guys. Have a great, what day is it?
Tuesday.
We'll see you.